Think you need a big salary or lucky break to get rich? Think again. In this video, I'll show practical ways to build wealth from scratch, using strategies that anyone can follow, regardless of their starting point. Welcome to Growth by Millisecond, where we grow the mind, body, and wallet 1 millisecond at a time. Because every great thing takes time, and every second of growth counts. Before we jump into the actual strategies, let's talk about why slow wealth building works, especially for people who don't come from money. Psychology tells us that small, consistent actions create something called behavioral momentum. When your brain gets used to tiny wins, like saving $1 today, $2 tomorrow, it becomes easier to maintain financial habits long term. It's similar to exercising. You don't go from zero to running a marathon overnight. You start with short walks, then jogs, then longer runs. Wealth works the same way. Even saving just $1 a day may seem tiny, but over a year, that's $365, and your brain starts to enjoy the habit of saving, making bigger financial moves easier later. Wealth isn't built by one big move. It's built by thousands of small, repeatable actions. To give you an idea, imagine comparing someone who invests $100 consistently every week for 10 years versus someone who tries to make a single big win trade in the stock market. The consistent investor ends up with tens of thousands of dollars, while the person chasing shortcuts may gain nothing, or worse, lose money. Small, consistent steps remove the pressure to get rich fast, which is where most people fail. Building wealth doesn't have to be complicated or fast. One of the first steps is to automate your money. For example, if you earn $3,000 a month, set up automatic transfers so that $300 goes straight into savings or investments as soon as you get paid. You don't even have to think about it. Your brain will adjust to the new default and saving becomes automatic. Over a year, that's $3,600, money you wouldn't even notice missing, but it starts to grow quietly. Compare that to trying to manually transfer money every month. It's easy to forget or to spend it instead. Automation removes human error and laziness from the equation. Also, accounting for your cash flow is a key necessity in this process. Keeping a simple spreadsheet that lists all your income and expenditures allows you to clearly see how closely you are staying on track with your financial goals. You can even use free apps or Google Sheets templates to make this easier. Mental accounting is one of the biggest pitfalls that can prevent wealth growth. People often think, I'll just spend and see how it goes. But that approach almost always leads to missed savings opportunities. Entering the data manually may feel tedious at first, but once you can clearly see where your hard-earned money is going, you'll be able to identify what you truly need and what you can set aside for your future. For example, you may notice you're spending $200 a month on subscriptions you barely use. That's $2,400 a year that could go straight into savings or investments. And if you compare that to someone who ignores tracking their spending, you can see how much faster they're likely to build wealth simply by knowing where their money goes. Next, pay down high-interest debt strategically. Let's say you have a credit card balance of $5,000 at 20% annual interest and a personal loan of $10,000 at 8%. You could use the avalanche method, which targets the highest interest first, paying off the credit card aggressively while making minimum payments on the personal loan. Within a year, you could save hundreds, maybe even thousands in interest alone. Alternatively, if motivation is your biggest challenge, you could use the snowball method, paying off the smallest debts first. The psychological boost of crossing a debt off your list often helps people stay consistent. Compare this to someone who ignores debt and tries to invest at the same time. The interest on high-cost debt can wipe out any gains they make. Even paying slightly more than the minimum each month accelerates debt repayment and frees up money to invest. Debt repayment is one of the few guaranteed returns in personal finance, unlike investing where returns can fluctuate. Building additional income streams is another powerful strategy. You don't need a massive business or high-risk investments. For instance, you could start tutoring online for 2 hours a week at $25 per hour, which adds $200 a month, or sell digital products like templates or guides, earning a few $100s monthly. Even small side hustles like pet sitting, freelance writing, or teaching a skill you already know can make a difference. Over 12 months, that's $2,400 or more. And if you reinvest part of it, it compounds. Multiple income streams reduce financial stress and increase opportunities for wealth accumulation. Consistent investing is a cornerstone of slow wealth building. You don't need to time the market or start with a fortune. Let's say you invest $100 every week into a low-cost index fund. That's $5,200 a year. Assuming an average annual return of 7%, after 10 years, that $5,200 per year grows to roughly $70,000. And that's just with small, regular contributions. Compare that to trying to pick individual stocks. The risk is higher, and consistent returns are not guaranteed. The magic is in time and consistency, not perfect timing. Even small automatic contributions over decades can grow into a 6- or 7-figure portfolio. And remember, the real advantage is starting early. Investing $100 weekly in your 20s can create far more wealth by your 40s than waiting until you're older, even if the contributions are the same. Finally, invest in yourself. This means improving skills that increase your earning potential. Whether it's learning coding, digital marketing, communication, or financial literacy, small skill upgrades can have a huge impact. For example, if you take an online course for $200 and get a promotion that increases your salary by $50 per month, that's $600 extra a year, a 3-fold return on a small investment. Skills compound over your entire career, unlike money, which can be lost. Compare this to someone who invests all their money but never improves their earning ability. Eventually, their wealth growth slows because they are capped by their income. Building wealth is about stacking small wins consistently. Automate your savings, reduce high-interest debt, create extra income streams, invest regularly, and develop valuable skills. Over time, these steps create financial momentum that grows quietly but powerfully. You don't need luck, insider knowledge, or a huge starting capital, just consistent action repeated over months and years. Remember, it's the small choices, repeated consistently, that create lasting wealth. And the earlier you start, the more those small wins compound into something life-changing. You've been watching Growth by Millisecond, your space for psychology, health, fitness, and financial growth. Remember, real success doesn't happen overnight. It happens one choice, one action, 1 millisecond at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more ways to grow smarter, stronger, and wealthier 1 millisecond at a time.